Sorry, you're here already. Well, let me close this. Alrighty, let's get started here. I'm Dan, the Rare Coin Man, and I'm here with another video production from rarecoins101.com. Have you ever heard of something called curb appeal? It's a term that's used quite frequently in the real estate business. No, I've not switched over to the real estate channel. I'm still here to talk about rare United States coins. But the concept of curb appeal is a good lead into today's coin topic. So, what is curb appeal? Realtors use this term to describe how visually appealing a property looks to potential buyers when viewed from the sidewalk or the street. A house with good curb appeal can usually sell for significantly more than an otherwise very similar property having bad, negative, or poor curb appeal. Let's look at a quick example. The house on the left has poor curb appeal because of dead trees, bad landscaping, a bunch of weeds in the lawn, peeling paint, stained driveway, and a damaged roof. And that's just for starters. Now, the same house on the right has none of those defects and has certain features making it far more attractive than the house on the left, and most certainly will bring a higher price because of the good or positive curb appeal. The same line of thought can be extended to coin collecting as well. If two coins of identical denomination, date, and grade are placed side by side, it's possible one of them may be judged to be of higher quality solely on the basis of its greater curb appeal. But in coin collecting, we don't call it curb appeal, we call it simply eye appeal. Eye appeal can be very subjective, or opinionated, another way of saying it. It can be a very subjective topic, but frequently does play a major role in determining how much someone will pay for your coin when you decide to sell. For collectors who buy coins with investment potential in mind, and well, there are quite a few who do, well, eye appeal is a very important topic for you. Very important consideration. So you'll definitely want to stick around for this video. Okay, let's get started. Boy, are they going to see some ugly coins. Oh, good gracious me, oh my, are they ever. Now that we've introduced the concept of eye appeal as it relates to coin collecting, let's have a look at a formal definition. Eye appeal is the subjective, or I could have used the word opinionated. Let's start over. Eye appeal is the subjective overall attractiveness of a coin based on types and severity of blemishes or marks, especially in the focal areas, clean original surfaces, toning, original color, wear patterns, if any, strike sharpness, and more. When these facets combine to manifest an unaltered coin of increased aesthetic appearance, that coin may be said to have good or positive eye appeal. The opposite of that is true as well. That's a wordy definition, I know, but the length of the definition is an indicator of how broad this subject is and how many variables are involved. But we'll be looking at a lot of examples of coins with various levels of eye appeal, and everything will become clear, I promise. Now, a coin anywhere on the grading spectrum, from the heavily worn to proof and uncirculated, they may be evaluated for eye appeal. There really isn't a way to measure or quantify eye appeal. Remember, eye appeal is based on opinion. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as the old saying goes. There are many instances, however, when given a choice between two coins nearly equal in all aspects other than eye appeal, hmm, most collectors would agree on the coin having the greatest eye appeal, especially if the aesthetic divergence is dramatic. Let's look at a few examples, shall we? Okay, here's the first example. Both images are of the 1796 draped bust quarter. Both have about the same amount of wear, somewhere in the good 4 or G4 grade range. The 1796 quarter is a very important coin because A, it is the very first quarter minted by the United States. B, it has a small eagle on the reverse, which obviously you can't see here, but which was used only in 1796, making it a coin type that lasted 1 year only. And C, with just over 6,000 of them struck, it's relatively rare, but in very high demand from collectors. Now, the example on the left suffers a multitude of impairments. It's holed with black fields caused by environmental damage. In addition, this coin was struck with a portion of the die missing, resulted in an elevated spot at 10 o'clock, now worn smooth. Contrast this with the coin on the right. It exhibits heavy wear and a few imperfections, as you would expect for a G4 coin, but has a nice even wear with decent surfaces with no serious flaws. Now, which one would you say has the greatest positive eye appeal? A or B? Now, I'm sure most of you picked B. If you didn't, well, maybe coin collecting isn't for you. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Now, here's some additional information you may find interesting. The coin on the left sold for about $2,800 in 2012. The coin on the right sold a few years later for $8,700, more than 3 times as much as the coin on the left. Does eye appeal matter? You bet it does. Let's have a look at another example. The Daniel Boone commemorative coin on the left could possibly be one of the ugliest coins in the world. It appears as if a zombie like Boone is suffocating in a toxic cloud or something. The heavy and dark toning on this coin contributes mightily to a negative eye appeal. Meanwhile, the coin on the right has neutral to positive eye appeal. Well, these comparisons are kind of fun in a way, so let's look at one more. The 1924 peace dollar on the left is graced with a satiny surface and a good luster, accentuated by a colorful peripheral radiance that I think many collectors would agree results in a very pleasing or positive eye appeal. The peace dollar on the right is marred by splotchy darkness, obscuring the coin's devices, creating an uneven and unattractive appearance. It most certainly does have negative eye appeal. Now that we've seen a few coins with really bad eye appeal, let's have a look at some coins on the opposite end of the eye appeal spectrum, coins that I believe are almost universally judged to have exceptionally good eye appeal. This Mint State 67 seated Liberty dollar from 1863 is a superb gem. Seldom do we see such a fully struck and richly lustrous coin, accentuated by gentle, colorful toning that's uniformly distributed in an attractive manner. I call this one a real screamer, as with most collectors, I'm fairly certain of. Now, this 1909S Indian head cent has a lot going for it. It's a mint state 66 grade with a full, glowing, reddish orange original coloring, enhanced by a soft satin finish. It's unusually well struck, giving it sharp, vivid details. These factors result in a coin with terrific eye appeal. In November 2021, this coin sold for $18,600, which was approximately 50% higher than Coin World's estimated retail value for this coin at that time. Obviously, that selling price was elevated by the premium eye appeal of this coin. We've now seen examples at both ends of the eye appeal spectrum, but it's not always easy to evaluate eye appeal. In these situations, the degree of eye appeal is truly dependent on opinion. What looks fantastic to one collector might evoke a so what to another collector. Have a look at this trio of coins, this ghostly trio. And why did I say ghostly trio? Well, it's because I used to watch Casper the Friendly Ghost as a kid. That's all. Sorry about that. Sometimes I just can't resist having a little fun. All three of these coins were described by their sellers as having above average toning. But what is your opinion? For me, the first two coins don't do much, but I don't dislike them either. The third one's better, in my opinion, because mainly I'm okay with a bit of brown toning around the rim of the coin. But that's just me. Let's have a look at these two 1882S Morgan silver dollars. Both were graded by PCGS as Mint State 67, so they're really high grade coins to start with. The coin on the left has what is called crescent toning. They call it that because the toning effect results in something resembling a moon crescent. The crescent toning on this coin was almost certainly caused by another silver dollar sitting on top of it, undisturbed inside a mint bag for many decades. There are quite a few collectors that go absolutely nuts over crescent toning because it occurs naturally inside an original mint bag and, in their opinion, adds beauty to the coin. On top of that, crescent tone coins have often a unique appearance and are easily recognizable. Personally, I like natural, colorful toning on Morgans, but this one here doesn't do much for me, although there is certainly nothing negative about it as far as I'm concerned. The dollar on the right is much the same coin without the toning. It's an MS67 specimen with neutral to slightly positive eye appeal. Really a nice coin. Both of these coins were sold just a couple of days apart in June of 2021. The coin on the left with the toning was purchased for $1,320, while the coin without the toning brought $900. So, apparently, the buyer thought the toning improved the eye appeal and value and was willing to pay a bit of a premium for it. You've seen evidence in this video that a coin with positive eye appeal will generally sell for considerably more than the same coin with negative eye appeal. I think it's fair to say that for classic collectible coins, there are many more of them on the negative side of the eye appeal ledger compared to those occupying the positive side. This is especially true for coins that have been in circulation for a long time. So, if you're the type of collector who is carefully building a coin set with strong rising values as your goal, you might even call yourself an investor. You'll enjoy greater rewards if you patiently avoid coins with negative eye appeal. Because if a coin doesn't have negative eye appeal, well, then it must Must either be neutral or positive, right? With that in mind, let's examine how coins with negative eye appeal got that way. The coins you're about to see are examples of ones you should avoid if you've got your heart set on positive eye appeal coins. I've got examples broken down into various categories. Let's first look at damaged coins. These are coins that have been holed, gashed, bent, stained, or in some way mutilated or altered from their original form. Coin damage can also result from an environmental attack. Coins that have been subjected to environmental attack may suffer from unattractive discoloration, spottiness, or corrosion and pitting, and almost always possess less eye appeal compared to coins with uniform, smooth, natural coloration. All too often, older coins with heavy circulation wear have suffered some damage during their extensive travels. Now, it's important to note that wear itself is not considered damage. Always keep that in mind. Let's look at several examples of damaged coins. The first example is a 1795 flowing hair half dime with a hole. We saw a holed coin earlier. Well, here's another one. Drilling a hole through a coin is about the worst thing you can do, but there are quite a few coins around with holes. I think a long time ago it was fashionable to use coins as necklaces and other types of jewelry. Next is a relatively rare 1856 Flying Eagle cent. This is the key date of the Flying Eagle cent series, no doubt about it, but unfortunately, this specimen here suffers from severe gouges. Someone really got a hold of it with something. This particular coin sold about 10 years ago for $4,700, about 30% less than its guidebook value back then. Many times, coins damaged this badly do worse than that. Now, here is an 1803 capped bust $5 half eagle that was bent right down the center of the coin. It was bent so that on the verse, the edges are closer to the viewer, initiating heavy wear at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The bend made it so that on the reverse, the center of the coin is the high spot, so that's what started wearing first. This damage on an otherwise really good coin is obvious and severe, leaving it with negative eye appeal. This 1892 barber quarter has been disfigured by staining. This is not toning, it's some type of yucky brown and black staining that somehow adhered to the surface of the coin. It's awful. The next few coins we're going to look at were damaged by environmental effects. That is, somehow the surface of the coin reacted to something in the surroundings that initiated some type of corrosion. This 1818 Coronet large cent has spotting, which could have been caused by tiny droplets landing on its obverse surface only. The reverse is untouched by spotting. A more serious environmental effect has occurred when we see pitting. Pitting is a severe corrosion of a coin surface resulting in the formation of small, deep holes or depressions that resemble pits. Some pitting is worse than others. The Great Bust cent on top has relatively minor pitting, which you can see close to the rim just below Miss Liberty's hair ribbon. But the Great Bust cent on the bottom was very nearly destroyed by pitting. We see a lot of pitting in early U.S. copper coins because the planchets, sometimes called blanks, were made from copper having considerable impurities mixed in. Technically, some coin experts would classify cleaned coins as damaged coins, but I've chosen to place them in their own category. Cleaned coins are coins that have had their original surfaces altered or marred through the improper application of cleaning chemicals or abrasives, leaving observable surface reactions and possibly small scratches. When a coin is improperly cleaned, small amounts of metal are forcibly removed from the surface or relocated in a way to simulate mint luster. Let's review a couple of examples of cleaned coins. This 1855 seated Liberty quarter was subjected to a chemical cleaning. Under high magnification, you could see to the left of the stars a uniform granularity or texture caused by a harsh chemical dip that ate away slightly at the surface in a uniform manner. Whoever did this cleaning took another step to somehow smooth out the open area to the right of the stars. The difference in color between the two areas is detectable and a clear indication the surface of this coin has been altered. On the reverse, you see the same effect. Around the lettering, you see uniform granularity, but in the open field between the lettering and the eagle, a smoothing effect and change in color. I can't tell you exactly how much cleaning hurt the value of this coin because when it was put on the auction block, nobody wanted to buy it. What a disappointment that must have been to the owner. Now, here is a gold 1799 cap the bust $10 eagle. The problem with this coin is that it has been whizzed. Whizzing occurs when a coin is attacked with a fast moving abrasive brush moving in a circular pattern that slightly rearranges the surface of the coin in such a way to simulate mint luster. It's a big no-no in the world of coin collecting. When you look at the magnified view of the coin, you see the damage left behind by the abrasive brush, a huge number of tiny striations on the surface. This coin probably had a dark overall color prior to the whizzing. You can see the dark contrast around the stars where the brush couldn't reach. This coin sold for $5,640 in 2016, which was about 25% of its guidebook value at the time. Coins that have been improperly cleaned are never associated with good eye appeal by veteran collectors. In fact, quite the opposite, and they are devalued accordingly. Now, there are some situations when a coin can and perhaps should be cleaned, and that does not result in a coin of diminished value, which brings us to this Rare Coins 101 axiom. Unless you are a coin restoration expert, never attempt to clean a coin you consider to be valuable. Another way of saying it, if you're not sure of what you're doing, don't do it. That's because proper coin cleaning requires considerable expertise. It's not the same as painting a wall with latex paint, where if you make a mistake, it's possible to start over. You can do a great deal of harm to a coin with unsound cleaning techniques, and there is no undo button. Once it's ruined forever. So, if you've got a coin that may benefit from a cleaning, let's say it's crusted with dirt or ocean barnacles or has a green slime caused by a PVC holder, there are professionals who can help you. One of them is the Numismatic Conservation Service. I've provided a link to them in the description text for this video. And no, I'm not getting any kind of a commission or anything. I'm just putting it out there to try to help you. One more thing before moving on to the next category. Some improperly cleaned coins are so skillfully done, it takes an expert using high magnification, and experience to detect the evidence of harmful cleaning. All the more reason to buy only certified coins from trustworthy sellers. We touched on toning a bit earlier. Toning is the natural coloration of a coin caused by exposure to environmental conditions over a long period of time. Technically, toning is a form of corrosion. In some circumstances, natural toning randomly results in an appealing rainbow hue that is appreciated by many collectors. Other coins with natural toning may be less attractive. Dark brown or black toning is often downright unattractive and is viewed with less favor. Coins exhibiting artificial toning, achieved through the application of chemicals or other treatments to produce unnatural coloration, are held in near universal disdain within the numismatic community. Coin doctors have tried many techniques to artificially tone coins. Some of their methods include bluing materials employed by gunsmiths or coating their coins with various substances before baking them in an oven. Sometimes chemical dipping is the chosen method. Over time, some of the fraudsters, they've gotten very creative. No coin, no matter how beautifully toned, can ever rate high in eye appeal if it's suspected of being artificially toned. Here again, experts are the best at recognizing artificial toning. Let's look at a few examples of artificial toning. This 1895 Morgan dollar is characterized by an odd yellowish color that was judged to be artificially induced. Many artificially toned coins turn out to be quite ghastly, and this is one of them right here. It's really a shame it happened to this 1895 Morgan because it's a blockbuster key date in the Morgan Dollar series. It sold for about $15,000, which was about half of what it could have sold for had it not been artificially toned. This 1918 8/7 S Standing Liberty Quarter displays unnatural shades of pink and green colors. This particular coin sold for only about 65% of its book value in 2013. No question whatsoever, the artificial toning hurt its selling value. No coin, no matter how beautiful it might be, can ever rate positive in eye appeal to informed collectors if it's determined to be artificially toned. Here again, experts are not easily fooled by artificial toning. Another reason why you should buy your coins from a reputable dealer, preferably certified if it's a valuable key date. I'll keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. There is a section in rarecoins101.com on how to find reputable coin dealers, so you can check that out later if you need to. It is possible to repair a coin that has a hole drilled through it, or maybe has some of the rim missing, gouged, or damaged in some way. Plugging, filling, or polishing are commonly employed repair techniques. But no matter how well done, a repaired coin can never shake off the stigma of being repaired and be rated positive for eye appeal. It's always going to be a negative. Let's have a look at a few repaired coins. This 1793 Liberty Cap cent had a hole that was plugged in a sloppy manner, clearly visible on the reverse between the words of and America. Without this problem, this coin would have been graded as very good. In January 2021, it sold for $6,600, well below its estimated retail value of $16,000 for the same coin with no serious issues. Had the hole not been plugged, it might have sold for even less. Of that, I'm not sure, but it doesn't look quite as bad had the hole been left there, but the repair job certainly didn't make the problem go away. Next. How unfortunate this sharply struck 1808 capped drake bust half eagle was originally damaged by graffiti below the scroll on the reverse. Someone later on decided to obliterate the graffiti markings, but unavoidably left behind clear evidence of the tooling action. This otherwise excellent coin would have been awarded a mint state grade and could have easily sold for at least $15,000 had it not been abused long ago by some of its former owners. Instead, it brought exactly half that amount. An unknown mishap was inflicted upon this 1796 Drake Bus quarter, maybe a gouge or something, just to the right of Liberty's face, prompting someone to implement repairs. What we see today in that spot is a profusion of small scratches, clearly distinct from the rest of the coin's surface. Can we say it sticks out like a sore thumb? We also see evidence of tooling next to Liberty's chin and throat. These problems explain why this important rarity sold for only $6,300 when its book value at the time was listed at $16,500. Had they left the gouge there, it most certainly would have subtracted from the coin's eye appeal, but the repair job may have made the situation even worse. A coin plagued by any of the negative eye appeal characteristics that we just talked about is often labeled as what's called a problem coin. And as we just documented, a problem coin is usually valued substantially less than other examples of the same coin in problem free condition. How do the major grading services handle problem coins? When both PCGS and NGC receive a coin for grading they deem to be a problem coin, they will not give it a numerical grade. Instead, they give it an adjectival grade, like very good or about uncirculated, depending, of course, on the amount of wear, followed by the word details, and then a specific description of the problem. You can see here a couple of examples of detail coins right here, both from PCGS and NGC. Both were improperly cleaned. Before moving on, I should mention there are a couple of other well-known reputable grading services, and they handle problem coins with the details designation as well. Those other companies are the Certified Acceptance Corporation, better known as CAC or CAC as they call it, and the other company is ANACS, that's spelled ANACS. ANACS was started many years ago by the American Numismatic Association, but they are no longer involved with the ANACS grading service. Anyone who has ever submitted a problem coin to PCGS or NGC without realizing they've submitted a problem coin is most likely very, very disappointed when it comes back as a details coin. Well, at least when it comes back as a details coin, it has also been determined to be genuine. So there's that, and that's a good thing. It is considered acceptable to sell a problem coin as long as the grading description accurately indicates the type and severity of the inherent problem. As we move further into the 21st century, We can see forward with 2020 vision the continued importance of problem-free coins with original surfaces and good eye appeal in the coin market. It separates the upper crust of quality coins from the rest of the field, attracting the attention of motivated, selective buyers. For those relatively few coins of exceptionally good eye appeal, there is even greater pressure from collectors that naturally drives prices higher and faster, leading to this Rare Coins 101 axiom. Collectors expecting their coins to impressively increase in future value would do well to seek out problem-free coins with good eye appeal. Another way of saying that is that collectors who patiently search for problem-free coins with positive eye appeal will reap much greater rewards at selling time compared if they had settled for the same coins of less attractive qualities. That's the primary message of this video. Dare we call this type of perceptive collector an investor? Sure, why not? A collector who firmly grasps the nuances and importance of eye appeal will be well positioned for the investor arena. On the other hand, maybe you're just looking to pass on something of great value to your family. They'll be certainly thankful for your wisdom and foresight. I want to share one more thought before closing out this video. Nothing that's been said here today is meant to discourage a collector from buying a coin that's been damaged or tainted in some way, as long as they understand what they're getting. That's because, well, not everyone can have a rare key date in MS65 grade with beautiful toning. Besides, those coins at the bottom end of the eye appeal spectrum, well, they need homes too. If, let's say, we're looking at a common date large cent with a hole drilled through it, and it's heavily worn, of course, and in addition to that, it comes with some corrosion. Well, still, it's every bit the time traveler as other more attractive coins from the same time period. If someone, let's say a young collector with very limited resources, aims to build a typeset of cents, this coin fulfills an immediate yearning and may act as a springboard toward greater endeavors. This reminds me of a story. When I was 12 years old, I started collecting Indian head cents. No way did I have the money to acquire the key dates nor even the semi-keys. One day, while shuffling through the bargain bin at Chuck's Coins and Stamps, I gleefully stumbled on this 1870 Indian head cent. It's not a very good picture, I know. Sorry about that. But as you can see, it was badly damaged. But that didn't subtract from my joy. The 1870, well, that's actually one of the tougher dates in the series. I don't remember what Chuck had it priced at, but it couldn't have been much because I actually had enough money in my pocket to buy it. And so I did. Man, was I so proud, admiring how it filled that once empty slot in my Whitman holder. I still have that coin, yes I do. Becoming the new owner of that banged up 1870 cent whetted my appetite to learn more about coin collecting. It helped fuel a lifelong passion for coins. It wasn't until many years later that I finally completed the entire set of Indian head cents. Upon reminiscing, not even the occasion when I finally reeled in the 1877 delivered as much joy as bringing home that 1870 album filler cent. Now, here's something I really don't want to talk about, but as is true with all of us, it's inevitable. The day is coming when my collection will be passed on to new owners. Perhaps that same 1870 Indian head cent I just showed you will inspire a young collector just as it did for me. Understanding eye appeal is important for collectors of all stripes, including beginners, but should collectors seek out only high quality coins? There is no absolute correct answer. It really depends on where you're at in the hobby, what your goals are, and how far you think you might want to go with it. Okay, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for joining me. If this is the kind of stuff you like, I encourage you to visit my website at rarecoins101.com. You'll find tons of information, including charts and data with key date recommendations based on past performance over a period of many years. To be honest, I don't know of another place that's got the type of useful charts that you can find on rarecoins101.com. Now, I'm disappointed to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm having a difficult time building traffic, and I've been at it for a while now. Traffic is the lifeblood of any website. So, if it's not asking too much, please tell your coin collector friends about my site. I would really appreciate that. And so, until next time. Oh, I forgot to mention the obligatory. If you got something out of this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you will. I don't produce many videos. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Anyways, if you subscribe, you won't miss out on any future episodes. Okay, until next time, this is Dan, the Rare Coin Man, signing off. Happy collecting!